Welcome to Pop and Play, the podcast all about play in its many silly, serious, and powerful forms. I'm Haeny Yoon.
And I'm Nathan Holbert. In this season, we're talking all about young people's media, how to make it, why it matters, what participation looks like, and its challenges and limitations.
Right, so if we're going to spend a whole season droning on and on with adults about how to make media, just kidding, we love all our guests. For kids, we should probably ask the primary audience that this is for. And today, we have a treat for you. We're talking with kids from 6 to 16 about what media is getting them excited and interested. With so many options, so many platforms, we're wondering where, when, and how young people engage with media these days.
So who are our media experts?
Well, first, we have Riley and Val, two 6-year-olds and best friends who know exactly what pops and what flops. We have two guests with us today, Riley and Val. Riley.
Yep, me.
And Val.
Yeah, here I am.
Here you are, yes.
Here I am.
Riley, let's start with you. Tell us about an ice cream flavor you really like and a color you find interesting.
Ooh.
I really like chocolate.
Good
ice
choice.
cream, and I really like the color orange.
Remember, Riley, talk in there. There you go.
And I really like the color orange.
Orange, solid color. Okay, Val, how about a good ice cream flavor and a color that you think is interesting?
I like chocolate and vanilla mix.
That's a good combo.
Ooh.
And my favorite colors is all of the colors, but not black, gray, and white.
But not black, gray, and white. Those are like
What
my
about
favorite.
brown?
Next, we have Sabine and Sam, two 11-year-old lifelong pals who are on the cusp of their teenage sensibilities.
I'm going to have each of you say hi. So, Sabine,
Hi.
and tell us if you like Taylor Swift.
Sort of.
Excellent
Sort
answer.
of? What does sort of mean?
It means I like some of her songs.
Oh,
Nate,
good.
what song do you like?
Shake It Off.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent.
Everybody,
Who
that's a
doesn't
great
like
song.
Shake It Off?
No one.
Exactly. Okay, Sam, say hi.
Hi.
Same question. Do you like Taylor Swift?
Kind of the same as her.
Oh, and what's your go-to Taylor Swift song?
I don't know. There's like 5 I like.
Oh, nice. Can you name any
Name-
of
But
them?
I do like Shake It Off. And I like Anti-Hero.
Ooh, Anti-Heroes,
I like
a
that one too.
solid choice.
I like that one.
And finally, we have Nico and Lucas, 16-year-old twin brothers who look nothing alike and have very distinct media habits, interests, and hobbies. So just your name and then the last TikTok you watched.
My name's Lucas, and the last TikTok I watched was probably like a car crash or something. Car crash.
Like a real car crash?
Yeah, like especially on like TikTok and like Instagram, they'll just like be videos of like car crashes,
Good Lord.
like randomly.
Oh my God.
Nico, what about you?
Oh, I watched this video of this little dog who I think it was what's it called? A French bulldog, I think. I don't know, one of those type
Oh,
of
I
dogs.
love French bulldogs.
Yes.
Now that we've gotten to know our esteemed guests, what are the kids even into these days?
The Grinch. Well, I do like SpongeBob too. Actually, do like Peppa Pig too. Bluey.
Bluey.
I have YouTube Kids. And there's this food channel that I'm addicted
She's
to.
obsessed with it.
For me, it's probably YouTube,
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
like Call of Duty or like games like that, or like the sports games.
Okay, so that's a lot of stuff. But in addition to YouTube and Call of Duty, Lucas and Nico also talked a lot about anime, right? So, Haeny, do you know anything about anime?
No.
Okay, this is a problem because I also know nothing about anime. So I think we should turn back to Lucas and Nico as our experts to ease us into this new world.
So what's a show that you're really into recently?
I like One Piece. One Piece is my favorite show. The main character's name is Luffy, and he wants to be like the king of the pirates. So he like gathers a crew, and like it sounds like simple, but like the story, it kind of goes like kind of crazy with like the world building because there's like 1,100 something episodes.
Oh my, have you watched them all?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, they're still making them.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're in a break right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
That's great. Nico, how about you? What are you watching on these platforms?
I'm watching Dragon Ball.
Ah,
Nice.
wait, that's anime too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am unfamiliar. I don't really know that much about anime.
I started off with Naruto,
Okay.
which a lot of people know, and that was just because my friend like watched it, and then I kind of just like, I don't know about a rabbit hole, but like I just
Yeah.
kept watching
Yeah.
like more and more stuff,
Yeah.
and then my friend told me to watch One Piece, and I was like, okay, and then I would watch it, and then I would watch episodes, then take a big break, and then watch like a bunch more episodes, and then take a big break.
Yeah.
So I did it. I think I started watching it in like 8th grade.
Okay. Yeah. What's appealing about it? Like, what do you think got you really hooked on it?
Like the characters are cool, like all of them, like like there's like a swordsman, there's like who has like fights with 3 swords, so he has 2 in his hands and like 1 in his mouth,
Yeah.
like in between his teeth. And then there's like a chef, and his big thing is he only kicks because his hands are like reserved for cooking. So he just goes around kicking people. And then yeah, like all the characters have like their own thing, and like
Yeah.
each one of them have like their own big goal, and then reaching like their goal, that's all they want to do.
So they have like an individual storyline that is
Yeah.
contributing to the collective storyline.
Yeah.
Very cool. Nico, do we say that Dragon Ball Z is anime?
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z, right? Yeah.
Okay. Tell us how you got into anime.
Well, so we have a cousin, and he showed us like one day he was like, "Do you guys like Superman?" And we were like, "Yeah." And it was like, "Well, there's this Dragon Ball Z, and it's about this guy named Goku, and he's pretty much Superman, but different."
Oh, that's actually smart.
I like that. Yeah.
because he was really into the show as a child, like growing up.
Yeah. That is really smart to compare it to something that's familiar.
Yeah.
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 Do you have like some similar interests, like outside of media stuff?
I mean, not really.
Yeah.
Like we're pretty like opposite
Yeah.
in most ways.
Yeah. So you converged on anime.
Yeah, just that.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder why is that? I wonder. I mean, not to analyze too far, but I'm curious. That's kind of cool, though, right? That there's this thing that, despite your very different interests and things that you guys engage in, that this one art form is it hits the right buttons for each of you.
I think because we both liked like Batman and like DC and the superhero things.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of it for everybody in there, and I guess like the thing that was both for us
Yeah.
was like the same.
Yeah. So anime kind of offers that.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a wide range of people that are interested in anime, actually.
Oh, yeah, totally.
So I feel like it must be hitting a lot of different things. Wow. The thought of a 1,000 episode pirate anime saga is also intriguing and very exhausting to me at the same time.
That's a lot of episodes.
Yes. So, what do you think about anime?
Why are you asking me? What do you think?
I don't think that much about it.
You know what I think about anime is when I see clips of anime or when I talk to people that like anime, I realize that like, oh, we have a lot of shared interests. Like the things you're into are often the things I'm into. And so I should probably like anime. Like it seems reasonable that I would also be into anime as well. And I just don't really get into it. And I think what I figured out is there was something about the fact that when it became popular in the US, it was like the mid to late 1990s. And that was
You were too old.
That was the exact age where I was trying really hard to be cool. Like so hard, like it was really intense to make sure that I wasn't doing or liking things that might be considered uncool. And so I think it was just like it came at that time where I was turning myself off to things like cartoons or even to some extent video games, right?
You really missed out an opportunity, though, because now it's really cool, and you totally missed that window.
I know. And I occasionally try to like claw it back. Maybe it's just that I still have no kind of shared language for it, or the kind of tropes and like aspects that are core to the genre just don't really connect with me. And so I'm always like, okay, well that was weird.
You know what I think is so fascinating about anime, though, is I have seen kids that are really young into different forms of anime,
Yeah.
even ones that we might consider quote unquote violent.
Yeah.
And then I've seen like much older adults be really into anime, and I really love the intergenerational piece of it. So
Totally.
it's not that I don't like it is why I'm not into it. It's because I have a very packed reality television watching schedule. So getting into a 1,000 episode pirate anime
Whoa,
series,
that's a commitment,
that's
right?
a commitment, right? A commitment that I may be willing to make sometime in the near future. So get ready. One of our seasons, the whole
season.
season's going to be about anime.
We're going in.
Yes.
It's not all anime, though. Our youngest guests had very different opinions about what the right shows are to be watching these days. So let's turn to Val and Riley to find out.
Do you guys hang out outside of school?
Yes.
What are some things that you do when you hang out?
Oh, you were there once. Remember?
was?
What?
Remember when we had movie night in the courtyard?
Yes.
I was there you were too. You were there.
I was there.
Too.
What were you guys watching in the courtyard?
Which movie was it? Oh, was it Inside Out? Inside Out 2.
Inside Out 2?
Yeah.
Do you like Inside Out 2?
Yes.
Why do you like it?
I don't know. Because I like certain parts of it.
Yeah. Who's in Inside Out 2? What are their names?
Joy, embarrassment, and
Embarrassment's my favorite one.
anxiety,
That's Haeney's favorite.
grief, fear, anger, fear, disgust.
I feel like I remember the main character of that movie
There's
having a
8.
name
There's
like
8 of them. Wait, but what's that?
Renly. What's the girl's name? Is it Renly or
Joy. Riley?
Riley?
Oh.
Wait a second.
Oh, that's
Wait a
That's
second.
your
Is
name.
that you?
That is so confusing. Have you seen Inside Out 2?
I've seen parts of it.
Just wait. How do you see parts of Inside Out 2?
It's called YouTube. You could see parts of everything on YouTube.
You really do watch media like a Gen Zer.
I do. Yes. I do. But you know what? Them talking about Inside Out 2 kind of brought me back to my feelings.
Yeah.
You know?
It does.
So, do you remember what it feels like to be a new person at school?
I do. I was a new person. I moved to a new high school my sophomore year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Moving in high school is very scary.
It was a little
So,
scary.
you know exactly how Riley in the movie feels.
Yes, I do. I mean, in the sense that, like, on the one hand, I was kind of happy to move because it felt like I had a kind of a chance to just sort of start it over, and that was kind of a neat idea at that age. But yeah, it was a little scary, and certainly you kind of had to figure out the way to navigate the space. And I feel like if I were to try to identify the specific emotions, and if I were to use the Inside Out 2 emotions specifically,
Yeah.
which to recap are joy, sadness, fear, disgust, anger, anxiety, envy, embarrassment, and ennui.
Wow. Do you get a gold star for that? I think so.
Straight off the dome. Definitely not reading that from a piece of paper right in front of me. But I think for me, I think it was probably something around maybe anxiety and embarrassment that were like the most salient.
Oh, Sam, I was definitely going to say those two things.
You were?
Yeah. Because high school Haeny was very insecure.
Yeah.
And had a lot of anxiety and was always worried about being embarrassed. Then adult Haeny became just embarrassing.
And full of ennui.
Yeah, with no holds barred embarrassment. But as I'm thinking about the movie, I'm also thinking about how I wish that I could always bring adult Haeny back to like high school with all the things that I know now, because I would tell myself not to take certain things seriously, to look at people with a different kind of perspective instead of being like, they're just mean, they're just like this, right? I think we're all trying to work through some of these emotions living inside all of our heads.
Absolutely. And that's why you have kids, so that you can try to do that to them and they can just completely ignore you and make all the same bad decisions that you made when you were their age.
Sounds awesome. But I think when we see things like this, definitely we have much more empathy to what it's like to be a child and what it's like to walk into a new space like school. It's actually very terrifying. And as adults, we sometimes forget it.
Totally. Okay, slightly separate question, but on the same topic here. Well, what about reality TV? Is that something you were into when you were younger? I mean, I know it kind of came out as we got a little
I
older.
was always into reality TV from the very first Real World.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask
To-
you what it was for you.
Yeah, it was Real World.
Yeah.
That's the thing that got me hooked on reality television.
Yeah.
How about you?
I never liked it. I mean, I watched some Real World because everybody did. I
Yeah.
think I probably watched some Fear Factor at one point. Boy, has that changed.
Oh, what about like Gladiator? Does that count as reality TV?
Oh, I guess. I mean, I guess competition shows are
Yeah.
kind of reality TV. I definitely watched that. We've talked about that.
I know. But let's turn to our next guest, Sabine and Sam, who will talk about what reality television actually is, or a confusion around it.
All the kid reality TVs are so boring.
What's an example of a kid reality
Yeah.
TV?
Like Stuck in the Middle.
It's
Oh, it's a show about, so there's this girl, Harley. She's an inventor. Jenna Ortega plays Harley, everyone.
Oh,
Just so
Jenna
you know.
Ortega plays her. Harley.
Yeah.
Oh, I love her.
And so,
Sounds-
okay, so she's like in the middle of 7 siblings.
Uh-huh.
So she has to live her stuff. And it's really annoying because she doesn't like her siblings.
Wait, but
Is
she's an
that-
actor.
Is that a reality television show, or is it just a show based on reality?
That's not realities.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know what reality TV is. I don't.
Did you mean when you say reality TV? Do you mean like
Realistic fiction.
Realistic
TV shows with like
fiction.
people
yes.
that aren't cartoons,
Yeah.
that aren't
Yeah.
animated? Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
Got it.
Yeah.
Oh,
But Sam, do you like cooking shows that adults make too, or is it just basically like kids
I
cooking
don't like
stuff?
watching people like.
do you like the Great British Bake Off?
Yeah, do you like the
No,
Great
it's
British Bake Off?
boring. It's just
So
watching
good.
people like
Oh.
mix things.
Oh, so do you like baking?
I like tasty. It's like shorts,
Okay.
and
Ay,
it's
ay, ay.
yeah. But I don't like just watching people just like mix.
Yeah, so you want something that's like 5 minutes or less. They've made
Yeah.
something, and you get to watch it and then be done with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds like the perfect audience for TikTok over
Sounds
there.
like YouTube.
Yeah.
It's a little.
So Sam, what do you think is Sabine's watching
Sabine
aesthetic?
likes not reality TV but realistic fiction.
Realistic
Because-
fiction.
Yeah, because you always watch like Nicky Ricky.
No, I hate that show. No, I used to watch
Right.
it. No, Sam, that's actually true.
Well,
now
you
I
do
only
like
like Stuck in the Middle. I do like
Stuck in the middle.
It's
Okay.
good.
Do you like Stuck in the Middle because you like the show format, or do you just really like Jenna Ortega?
No, that's not the reason.
That's like I've watched her in Yes Day and Stuck in the Middle,
But
and
it's
that's
not-
because I'm too
No.
horrified to watch Wednesday. So
Oh, it's terrifying. I watched one episode and I was like, nope,
So
let's not do
terrifying.
that.
Oh,
didn't
you're
realize
terrified.
I just like
really?
the format. pretty much.
Is there anything you guys like to watch together?
Oh,
Not tasty.
no, we could never.
We can never
ever
Like when we
agree on
have
something.
sleepovers,
You
it's
can't.
like
we
chaos.
can't agree.
What's the okay? This is
Really?
great. What's the last time that you watched a show or a movie together?
At our sleepover, I don't know what it was.
But you did. I remember you didn't want to watch it. Remember?
I didn't.
was-
No, remember the failed sleepover? Did you
Yeah.
watch anything?
I think it was that.
Uh
It was probably Prince of Egypt, right?
Oh,
But
no,
you
no,
didn't
that
want
wasn't a sleepover.
Yes, but it was a failed sleepover. You just said this.
No,
But you
okay,
both
whatever.
liked Prince of Egypt.
We like it, but we didn't.
We didn't want to
wanna
watch it, but we just didn't know what else.
I just didn't want to watch
Yeah.
it, and she was just like Prince of Egypt, and I was like, fine.
Yeah.
3 seconds later, I did not want to watch it. So.
Oh, so you basically
not that
can't
interesting.
agree on what to watch, so
Yeah.
you just end up watching something that maybe both of you don't really want to watch.
Yeah, but it's Then we just like get bored and stop watching it.
Because like one of our parents come out and they're like, why don't you do something else? Because we're fighting so much over what to watch.
But I get it. I mean, I feel like right now, like sometimes I would spend like an hour just watching previews of shows,
Oh.
and I never watch a show because I'm like, I
that's
can't
why
decide.
I like YouTube because like you don't have to
Sometimes
like commit.
I can't
You just let it
decide.
decide for you,
I
right?
just can't decide.
Yeah,
I just like I'm just like ooh.
Let the algorithm choose.
and then you could just move on.
Sometimes
right.
when I don't know what to watch, I just search in like a random letter, and then I see what
Oh,
comes
me
up.
too.
And
Do
then
you?
there's nothing good, so I do the next letter and the next letter.
Is that how people find shows these
That's
days?
what she does.
That's what I do.
Wow.
Sounds like too much screen time to me. Okay, so here's another question I'm curious to hear, and you guys might have different answers to this, but like, what makes a good show to you? Like, what is it that makes the show like just right?
That's
Something
a
that
really-
I don't get bored of.
Like, but what is
But
that?
what keeps you
Like-
not bored?
Yeah.
Like you said, the format,
I like movies more than shows.
Yeah?
I do.
Like, I don't, like, go on
definitely. 'Cause,
Netflix
I
and
don't
watch shows
want to
anymore.
have to click next episode or something. 'Cause
Oh,
sometimes
really?
That's
there's
just
one episode I
awful.
want to watch and then I don't know what else to watch. So
Yeah.
like watching a movie, that's just long silence and awe, just being like, oh.
How's
Okay.
Because like shows, it's like shows have a lot of seasons and like episodes,
Yeah.
and I don't want to just.
It's overwhelming.
So you like movies because they're short
Yeah.
and there's an end.
Long.
Long
They're
and
long.
an end. Yeah.
Long and an end.
I mean, I have the exact opposite watching vibe because I don't like movies because they're too long, and I like TV shows because they're short and I could stop watching it, but then they go on forever.
Yeah, but then you watch
Which
like,
I enjoy.
15
I get-
episodes.
I
It's
get
much longer than a
tricked.
movie.
Yeah, either I watch like
Either
a
I watch
movie-
one movie and then I'm done, or,
or,
I
like,
watch like
50
10 million episodes because I can't stop.
I remember
Yeah.
once I binge watched the entire 2 seasons of Avatar.
Oh, I remember that.
Oh.
Oh, I remember that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I didn't. I like woke up at like 7 in the morning and like didn't.
And then watched it.
stop. Yeah.
So that was a very interesting conversation.
I personally love this new idea about reality TV. I'm into it.
That it's realistic fiction.
Realistic fiction.
Not actually reality television, which is delightful. Is a delightful mistake.
I love the idea that like the default kind of television is cartoons, and then
then
sometimes we have these realistic fictions as well. Like that's super great.
Yeah, but you know what? One can argue that reality TV is actually just realistic fiction.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Is
I
it-
remember when I used to teach with a guy who was a writer for Fear Factor, and I was like, wait, Fear Factor has writers? And he's like, kinda.
Yeah, because it's realistic fiction. So you know what?
Exactly.
Joke's on us. Sabine's right.
Sabine's right. She's always been right.
She's always been right. Yeah. So it's making me wonder, like for me, I'm very into reality television, and I've said this many times.
Yeah.
Or even realistic fiction.
All of
like
it.
I love The Office. I love Severance. I love anything that is like kind of true to my own reality, but also like a
Is your reality a lot like Severance?
no, like a exaggerated version of my own reality, right?
yes,
Because I think
like a
new-
caricature of your
Yes, like a
existence.
caricature of it. And I
Yeah.
find that to be like really interesting and fun and a way to kind of think about yourself because I feel like it helps you make fun of yourself, right? Like I watch
Yeah.
The Office and I think about my own colleagues and I love my colleagues, sorry. So this is not any shade to my colleagues.
Who's your gem?
But I just think about like, oh my God, this could like one more step and one more word and we could have crossed
Full
over
in
into
there.
this
Yeah.
territory,
Yeah.
right? And something about that just feels comical and humorous to me. And it's sort of like a way to deal with
Yeah.
the realities of life.
That seems right. But I will say that I personally have an aversion to like cringe comedy, like
Yeah.
shows that are just like
And
really
you know I love
cringy.
cringe.
I know. It makes me really uncomfortable while I'm watching. So while I have also thoroughly enjoyed, The Office in my day, I think I find that the older I get, or maybe it's just that the more like horrifying the world becomes to me, the more I turn to those like comfort shows that like are people that are giving me hope in humanity, or people that seem to like really care about one another or care about like society. Like you'll turn on something like a Parks and Recreation and you're like, oh, how can I stay mad at the world? Look at these federal employees who really care. I guess in this case, state employees, but they seem to care.
It's a lovely idea.
Isn't that nice?
So idyllic. For such a time as this.
But I loved like The Good Place, basically just any
Yeah,
Michael
yeah.
Schur comedy is really what I'm
Yeah.
looking for.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we basically both like realistic fiction. Just different.
Sign us up.
Different versions of it.
Just like Sabine.
Yeah. So I think as we end this episode, I feel like there are ways we often think of kids and adults on two ends of a spectrum, right? Like this is kids' TV, this is adults' TV. Anything that kids like, adults hate. Anything that adults like,
Right.
kids hate, right? But we found that that's actually not true.
No, not
so
at all.
let's go back to our guests and see what they have to say about where their interests might converge.
Sam, what do you watch on YouTube Kids?
Art channels.
And tasty.
Oh, and there's this food channel that I'm addicted
She's
to.
obsessed with it.
I watch it when I'm hungry.
What kind of stuff do they do
Which
on,
is all
on
the
the
time.
on the food
They
channel
just
or
make
art?
food, and it's tasty.
Yum, yum, yum.
I love shows like that. I watch a lot of food shows too.
Yeah.
Law and Order.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
That was like the really big one. Me and my
Like-
mom would watch that together.
Yeah,
a
I
lot.
remember that.
Law and Order, like
Yeah.
SVU or Criminal?
No,
the
not
regular
SVU. We watched like the ones from like I think like 2000 to 2005, and then like in the early 90s. No,
Yeah.
the like
Oh,
late
nice.
90s. Like,
Oh,
Oh,
no
that's fun.
way. Wait, so you like it? So you like Law and Order?
Yeah,
Criminal
it was
Intent?
pretty cool.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it in a while.
Yeah.
But-
Me too. I love that
good.
stuff.
I mean-
I love any kind of crime drama.
Mhm. Oh, that's the other thing I watch. Like on Netflix,
Yeah.
I'll see like the crime documentaries.
Yeah.
And like I'll just go like through phases of like watching them because like it's like it's like something like disgusting, but you can't look away. It's like exactly that. And so I'll be watching it on the TV, and then my mom will make me turn it off because it's like they're
"That's
talking
too
about
disgusting."
like cults or something. Like
Oh my god, that's my favorite genre. Wait, Lucas, what are you even doing? I mean,
Whole crime dramas. You nailed
I
it.
love that. You know what? I think it's not that I love crime. Okay, I
you
just
sure?
like learning about these things. Or
yeah, it's
something.
interesting.
Right?
Like what's going on in their minds.
Exactly. And you're like, how are people thinking like this? But then I can't look away.
I know.
Yeah. Okay. So collectively, we all love Law and Order.
Yeah.
Keep making those people.
Oh,
Yeah.
my dad and I like don't watch things just with my mom.
Okay.
It's like only my dad. We have like the same taste in movies.
Oh.
Yeah.
So we watched like Lord of the Rings and like the Hunger Games.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Me and my dad, we were watching Jaws, and my mom, she just sits on the couch with her noise-canceling headphones listening to some crazy rock music, and she's just like going crazy, drumming on the table and
like
on
a
the
shark.
couch, and then I'm just like looking at her like, what are you doing? Because we can't hear it. We're just like listening to da-da, 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 da-da.
But
It's
she,
really
so
funny.
it's that kind of something that you and your dad enjoy, but she doesn't necessarily, she's not into
But
it.
she also really likes
Yeah.
Christmas movies a lot more than my dad.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I
And then
like
do you
watching
watch Christmas movies with your mom
Yeah,
and watch
because-
Jaws with your dad?
I don't even care what's on. I'll watch it because
Yeah.
it's just
Cause,
like, like
And then Sam, most of your watching is with your dad.
Yeah.
That's so great.
Haeny, do you watch any shows with kids in your life?
Yes, plenty. I
You
mean,
gonna tell me?
this past summer, me and Emmy watched the Eras Tour multiple times
Wait, how does it?
on Disney Plus.
Oh, okay. Okay.
After going to the Eras Tour,
Right.
we actually converged on the Eras Tour on TV and was
Aw.
able to share a lot of different memories. But I often think that there are actually genres of television that adults and kids can both like. Like I'm thinking about Sam and Sabine talking about these competition shows,
Yeah.
right? Like I am way into that. Like I love any kind of cooking competition show, any kind of baking competition
Man,
show.
those are so perfect to watch, like with kids, especially.
Yes,
Like
yes.
Great British Bake Off, those kinds of
Yes.
shows. Like what is it, Chopped Junior or whatever. Like
Uh-huh.
that stuff is great, right? Kids like
Top
really get into
Chef.
that. You're into it,
Yep.
and then you can like try to make the stuff after as well. So you kind of
well,
blend
you
the-
can.
well,
I'm like, I can't make this. But yeah, I think that's so true. And I think there's something about the format of that. Like Sabine said, it's the format, right? Like I love the format of it and how it draws you in, right? So
Yeah.
how about you?
Yeah, I love watching shows with my family. It's kind of funny, like having two kids. It's kind of one of those things that I think we've always been somewhat intentional about. Of like, okay, let's all sit down together and let's watch something. And then of course there's all these arguments about whether like what are we gonna watch? No, I want to watch this. I want to watch that. But there's like a couple shows that we've always been able to sort of
Yeah.
coalesce around. Obviously, we've talked about Bob's Burgers being one of those shows here. We watch Abbott Elementary together.
Yeah.
There's Great British Bake Off at various points. There was a show we watched. We lived briefly in England, and there was a show that was about making tiny miniature dollhouses that we like all became really
Oh,
obsessed
that's
with.
awesome. People are obsessed with miniature things.
I know,
just
and
in
it was
general.
so great.
Yes.
But yeah, I love. Yeah, it's great to sit down and watch a show together, and then have like kind of these shared conversations around the themes of the show. Not like intentional shared conversations, but then you have
Yeah.
like you make the same jokes with one another, or you can call each other like names of characters, and it just I don't know. It always builds kind of this nice collaborative spirit for a
Yeah.
family. So I usually enjoy doing
And
that.
some of those things are unexpected, right? Like you might like Law and Order, Criminal Intent
Yeah.
together. You might like true crime shows.
Yeah.
You might like Jaws. It's just surprising where people will come together on things.
Yeah, I mean, I think the punchline here is that whether it's children's media, whether it's what are we calling this? Realistic fiction, whether it's reality TV,
Whether it's true crime.
True crime. There's a ways in which kind of this type of media creates space for this intergenerational explorations together. It creates space for kind of relationship building, identity building. It's a really rich site for that work.
So we'd really want to thank our guests who really gave us some insightful comments about what's happening on television, but what's happening relationally, and what media can do and not do for us.
Yeah, thank you, Nico and Lucas, Sabine and Sam, and Riley and Val for hanging out with us in the studio and talking to us about the way you experience and explore children's media. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Pop and Play is produced by Haeny Yoon, Nathan Holbert, Lalitha Vasudevan, Billy Collins, and Joe Rena Ferry at Teachers College, Columbia University with the Digital Futures Institute.
Audio recordings for this episode by Abu Abdelbaghi.
This episode was edited by Billy Collins and Adrian Vitullo.
For a transcript and to learn more, visit tc.edu/popandplay. Our music is selections from Leaf Eaters by Poddington Bear, used here under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial License. Blake Danzig and Meyer Clark provided our social media and outreach support. Follow at Pop and Play Pod on Instagram. Thank you to Abu Abdelbaghi for support with our website and additional materials.
Do you teach about play and pop culture? Check out our topics collection organized for the classroom. And of course, don't forget to share Pop and Play with a friend or colleague.
And thanks for listening.